Hey everyone, Jocular Claymore here, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So, last time, we made it to the fishing village. Here we spoke to Morel, the cryptozoologist, setting traps to find his ghost insect. And over here is his assistant, I forget his name, Gary? Let's see.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
Yeah, Gary, who ended up lying to us, and wouldn't you know it, had one of the armor pieces, one of the ceramic armor pieces that we were looking for, that the hanged man had been wearing. Because if you remember, we're looking for the other parts of the armor set. So we found, I think, the cuirass, the torso part, if I have that right, and learned some other stuff along the way. We also tried getting the two signatures we needed for Mr. Clare. We got one from Lillian, but Miss Isabel, the older lady, is flat out refusing, and we just don't have enough suggestion to change her mind, which is really making me rethink what how I want to go about this with Mr. Clare's quest line, so to speak, because I know we can't fully trust him, but we're also working class and we want to prove ourselves, that we are a man of the left and so forth. His words, not mine. um, but we'll see how this goes.
I mean, officer.
So we already spoke to him and exhausted his dialogue. I think what we can do next is keep exploring this fishing village. I think we walked past the church, but we didn't explore it yet because there were some other things to do. So I guess right now we can tie up loose ends and see. So we already exhausted all this. This is the coastline. So we're just gonna move on here. And up there we spoke with, I forget his name. He seems like a wealthy type, he and his kid. Mikhail, his son is Mikhail. His name is
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
Trant. Yeah, I would not have remembered that. He gave us some information, some background history on this abandoned building and stuff. I really couldn't process it all, to be honest, because at the time of recording I was super hungry and all I could think about was food. But anyway, yeah. This is an area that we did not explore thoroughly. Up here we did find a jacket encrusted in pigeon shit, so we took that. It might come in handy later. Okay, now we can properly explore this little cranny. Money! Yeah, we're doing really well on collecting money. We still need 5 real so that we can have the 20 to stay one more one more night at the Whirling and Rag. Alright, what else we got? A makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. That tarp will keep out neither rain, nor snow, nor wind. Yeah. A coin-operated weighing machine. Hasn't been used for a decade. Huh. Glasses? Prescription lenses. Let's see what that does. +2 encyclopedia, -1 perception. I think our encyclopedia stat is pretty good as it is, so we'll just leave it. Vagrants have recently painted the tarps red. Water drips from them. We're painting the tarps red. We're painting the tarps red. Okay. And is this the weighing machine? Oh, I don't know what that is, but it looks like we can't use it. Something over there. Oh, I see some money there. Can we reach it from here? Yep. Okay. Looks like we can cross this board. Yes, we can. What's this? A big wine canister. It's open and empty. Okay. Yeah, this game has given me a lot to think about. Hold that thought.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hold on, that is awful.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that.
Oh, I see somebody up there, top left.
Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be.
Kim, what's that smell?
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
Eyes up, detective. Something's not right here.
Okay, well, let me finish my thought before we continue. So, this story's given me a lot to think about. Because moral choices are not black and white in real life either, but I feel like especially in this game that everything is gray. That, I mean, if you think about it, we're playing the role of a seemingly corrupt detective, or at least a detective who, is not doing so well. An alcoholic, a drug addict. As we have seen throughout the story, we see that Harry is still dealing with feelings of addiction and even like a sort of misanthropic view of the world. The point is that we're not a perfect person, as no one is. And even in trying to do what I, the player, think is the right thing to do, like, for example, Mr. Clare is saying, we want to build a youth center and help out the kids and give them something to do and help them become outstanding citizens and all that. But what it seems like is going to happen is that they're going to have to build, a street, or they're going to have to do construction in the fishing village where these people live. And as Isabel is telling us that Mr. Clare is planning to build on the street that they use to get home and so forth. So it's not just going to be a mild inconvenience either. At the same time, according to Mr. Clare, a majority of the people have already signed the papers allowing them to do the construction, except for those two that we needed to get. We got one, and the only one left is Isabel's signature, so I'm not really sure. We might go talk to Mr. Clare later to see what other options are, but my point is that I don't feel good. I wouldn't feel good about... I'm scared of like what outcomes are going to come from this. I'm scared of the outcomes, and I have a feeling that I'm not going to feel good with any of them. So we're just going to have to try our best. Anyway, let's go and investigate.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Working class corpse. Oh, that's sad. I thought this person was still alive, just, sitting up on the planks, but...
The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom-made.
Search his pockets.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole.
What a way to go. I mean, it sounds accidental, but maybe not.
You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol, 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here.
Examine his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
Let's study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
Okay, let's examine the chewing gum wrapper. I wonder if it's the same as the apricot chewing gum wrapper that we have on our person.
Rubowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Let's back off for now.
Careful, the wind blows hard from the east.
Examine the bottle.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
He looks at 2 other bottles forgotten near the coin-operated viewer. Okay. I really want to be careful here. I have a feeling that we could fall through and lose health. I refuse to get another game over screen. As the other episode, we lost all of our morale, and had a game over screen essentially in the form of a newspaper clipping. But let's see. Okay, examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
It's hard to say.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
I don't know if I want to step on the floorboards. I don't think it's a good idea.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Do you think he was drunk? Or what about the kebab? What's the kebab? I'm not sure what the kebab is. Do you think he was drunk?
Oh yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
I doubt it, but could it be related to the lynching?
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
What about the kebab? Maybe we'll get a clue on what it is.
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
So shish kebab, I guess? I don't remember seeing that.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
At least this man knew how to party. Imagine the same scene without the bottle. Now that would be just sad.
See, like when the electrochemistry comes up, it's usually related to alcoholic temptations or drug temptations, that kind of thing.
This is an omen, a sign from above. Don't start drinking again.
He looks like me. I could have ended up just like him, dead on an empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse. The demise of a great party beast. Another drunkard. He looks like me. Oh my god.
Despair creeps into you,
Oh no.
getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions
We
you once
did
had
it
as a police
again.
officer, it's eating them all up now. You're still coming up with sentences. That's
Yes, it can be difficult to be on the receiving.
nothing you
I
can
don't
say.
believe
when
it.
Cop gives up the detective.
I don't believe it. Oh my god. Okay, well. I gotta stop picking these options. Be right back, I guess.
We do know that he was married.
Okay, we're back and we've gone through all of the options we already did, but this time we chose, I think labeling him an alcoholic is a bit premature. We don't know anything yet. The lieutenant points at the ring on the man's left hand. The flesh around is swollen and gray.
But you're right. Let's not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
I think we did this already.
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. Oh yeah, some symptoms, but I think that death arrived through head. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away.
Okay.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure.
What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Hold on, what about field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
You're right, I don't see anything criminal here. Let's leave it at that.
Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest.
We found him. We should finish this.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the aces high is just a cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools for hotfixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
And the bonuses, +1 empathy towards Kim, +1 esprit de corps, the root of the RCM. Okay. Cool. Dead body on the boardwalk, and as you can see, it is currently Wednesday. So we can examine the library card and then call the station. Also, I looked up what fast travel, if there is a fast travel in the game, and there is. I can't do it right now, but when the time comes, I will. I'll show you. Okay. I'm trying to get to there. Interactables. Library card.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member.
Look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
I don't recall sci-fi games. I don't recall sci-fi books being in the bookstore back in town. But maybe we can try it. Well, then again, that's a bookstore. This is a library card, so I don't know if that's related. Anyway, let's look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by.
Cool. Alright. Zoom in a bit. What's this? This coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Yeah. Oh. Trying to get to that. Come on. It's a long way down to your death from here. 20 meters at least. Thanks, game. Okay. Or anything else. I have to keep remembering to do manual saves because we've already died twice and here I am like we're not getting another game over the screen. What happens? We died again. Okay. I think we're done here. There is a church nearby that the locals mentioned, and I want to find it. Alright, we saw this already, I believe.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Who could we call? Let's see.
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
A random number? No. I thought we could call the library, but we're gonna use the kinema to do that anyway. Alright. This might be the church. Oh. Well. Didn't pop up. It's over there, Harry. Hold on. It might have glitched. Hold on. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere in the ice. Oh, maybe that's what we were following. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Is there anything else here? Okay. The sign reads St. Brune 1147. Yeah, this looks like the church. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. Yep. An altar shrouded in dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. Oh, money. Nice. Okay. Looks like we can go inside, but what's over here? Full of holes. Could the post hide treasure? Look inside. Potent Pilsner. Oh, interesting. Magnesium. Yes, please. Man, we got a treasure trove. Anything else here before I go over there? Oh. The ice here is thick enough to walk on. Alright, cool. We'll come back to that. +1 physique, -1 morale. Nah, don't want to touch that. But it looks like a consumable. Nope, hang on. Trying to get to this blue marker. There. Before you, a drawbridge. It can only be lowered from the other side. Got it. A school of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. Alright. And it looks like, yeah, we got 2112 real, giving us enough to stay another night at the Whirling Rag. Okay, before that, the rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Rust-eaten letters read, Mazut. Okay, that's the way we came. That's a Nolan Vincink, an unsuccessful model. Oh. Money. Nice. This is... yeah. There's a lot to do here. Oh, there's money up there. Thank you, autosave. Let's try the auto run. Or auto walk, I should say. Oh, maybe we need to cross this plank. Come over here. And then over here. Right? No? No, let's go all the way around. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but going to. Might be some stuff we missed. No boat in the boathouse today. More money? This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Nice. Sunglasses, whoops. +1 savoir-faire, dazzling reflexes, -1 visual calculus. Compared to visual calculus, -1 drama. No, we'll keep those on. Can't read that. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. More money? Can we go up here? Yes. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. The sign says, Entrée interdite.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Why this many bullet holes?
Unable to piece together the big picture just now. There's a hole in their hypothesis.
Okay, fine.
The scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant smiling mouth, smiling its deadly smile.
Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Okay. An old ticket taker booth no longer in operation. People paid money to park here? No one would pay no. Or could they? No money? Thank you. Another Pilsner. Interesting that we're getting these consumables now. That's the money we saw earlier. Yep. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. People, what's that? The small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking people hat gives it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet. None of its protective qualities covers the wearer's eyes and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. So +2 logic, -1 perception. Okay. So this looks like the way back. Oh wait, can we not cross here? Because the boardwalks look broken. Do we really have to go all the way around? Yeah, can't go through here. Okay. Sorry, I keep messing with the camera. Anything this way? I don't think we can go this way. Alright. Anything here? Oh, yeah, it's scary.
Always I mean...
Okay. Can't cross here. I guess the next thing we can do is look inside the church. Oh well, some other stuff here. And those are the twins. A primer for small kids. The textbook for the first grade in primary school. I guess if we need to pass time, we have another book to read. This is a little faster. How can I reach it? I guess let's just see what happens. Oh, that's where you cross. Okay. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water. You. Okay. Not very helpful. Yeah, that's the church. And then this drawbridge, which we can only lower from the other side. I guess we can cross this way. I just want to cover all my bases, you know? Quieter here. It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. What is that? Are they stacking rocks or something? Someone here.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I am wearing a hat. I should, and I do.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Okay, no authority. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions though. What's your name?
A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
I'm from the police. It's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Burger.
A very common name.
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Oh, I wonder if she's a scientist, or has an interest in science at least.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah, any news on my wife's name? How about my... No. Or, oh, is this my inner monologue? What am I supposed to do with this?
No idea.
Okay. How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Okay. Where'd you get it?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
I'm seeing this option here. Sounds like a place for congregating homosexuals. Now let's go with... Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
It means I'm hip beyond my ears.
That's cool.
Never mind, let's talk about the mic.
Sure.
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold? Well, she said she's doing techno stuff.
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
But what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I believe that's called found sound, when you record things just happening in your surroundings and you incorporate it into your music. It's really cool.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible, like a warm blanket has fallen off her shoulders. The wave of chill, the quivering jaw, indications of a drug high.
Take this, you're cold.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket. Oh, Kim.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
And who are these boys?
The boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
That's messed up. Stuff like what?
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am.
Bruh.
More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold. Go ahead. It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As the mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is anodic dance music?
you know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
And we level up too. I feel like we can finish out the psyche tree with this last one, Esprit de Corps. Or something from physique. Like endurance or something. Yeah. We'll finish off the psyche tree. Electronic instruments, like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds.
Found
stuff
sounds.
like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes. This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness, or something finer?
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right?
Yes, why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. Because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Okay, let's see, I had another question.
Go ahead.
Low empathy. I guess not.
Okay, bye.
And we got this electronic track going on.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Oh, I thought their tent was inside the church.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Sure?
Sorry, you barely have room for one.
Yeah, I thought so.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Okay. Huh. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosifed Ultra. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. Alright, talk to you.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic, yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid,
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
and Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in. Also for talent. Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part. Place is a shithole. I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need, the place is pretty bad. Next time watch yourself. Was there something you wanted? Your friend Estelle said there was a problem with the church.
Ah, so you've met her. Good. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended. Dopeheads? Burnouts? Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Reversholt. Strike that! The word! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The worst kind. What kind?
The spooky kind.
What do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks.
What's the status of the church? I haven't gone inside the building yet.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
What about the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. All right.
Speed Freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden cool and fused move, tossing in your general direction. Be the cool cop. Let's try it.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The Speed Freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man.
The Speed Freak nods to you.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure that they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
term involuntary manslaughter there.
Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means? 85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another. 85% is good enough.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
You got a point there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I catch your drift.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
I get by. Now, where was I with that padlock?
He nods attentively, ready to answer the questions of one smart cop.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Glimpses? Who are these people? Secret agents? Stealth operatives?
Better safe than sorry. Anything more you can tell me?
Yes, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Ed.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kind of it.
What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
A crab man? We're dealing with crab people, yo.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Reminds me of the new game that came out, Another Crab's Treasure, or colloquially named Crab Souls. I really want to try that game.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Are you sure there was a crab man?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dope head sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Jacked up to some snuff station?
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
I think Kuno mentioned that to us.
Must be. Even Kuno
Yeah.
knew that.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff.
He appears sincere enough, sire. You could, of course, be wrong.
We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Wow, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers.
80% sure they're still alive. 70% sure they're substance abusers.
Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
You mentioned some kind of ecclesiastes own the church. Who are these ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Before we go on, what do you mean by meteoran? Or mask it? We can mask it. Yeah.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a club for hypnotic music in one of their churches? They sound like exactly the kind of who would want loud hypnotic music in their church.
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance.
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore. Unity. Unity. Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
He turns the volume up and looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass, as if testing the waters.
No words, enjoy the beat. I don't quite understand what's a posse. I guess love can be pretty hardcore. I understand. Uh-huh. Okay. Enjoy the beat. I mean, I am. Okay. Yeah, it's about love.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
Yeah, you can see our character nodding his head.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah, yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And it's distilled, too.
Oh,
He doesn't know what to say.
it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. Wait, I also smell ether. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No,
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. Unlike the girl outside, however, the boy's breathing is regular. Their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated, so they're not under the influence currently. At least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
What's with all the Nosifed?
The what now?
Points at the bottles of nasal spray in the corner. The Nosifed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. We,
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
You sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosifed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosifed is the shit.
Good. Now on to the next thing. Alright. That's it for now.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
I like this track. Okay. Gonna do a quick save. Quick manual save. Let's check this out. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours. So lower this.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Push it over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Now we got a shortcut. Okay. Real quick, does this cell have anything new to talk about?
The shaggy-haired girl.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
I'll help you, alright.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods, his face is stone. What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
For stalling, what do you look like? You're right, I don't believe you. I do believe you.
Why?
What would you stand to gain?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
What do you mean? You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
What about you? Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Okay, maybe I'll ask later about all this.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
And we can't do empathy, so let's head out. Alright. I think we have time to do the, church. Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Yeah, I would like to go inside the church. I don't know how long that will take, but it only makes sense to continue from that point. And just to be sure... Alright, here we go.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
It reminds me of the Nirvana logo, mascot. It's basically like a squiggly, smiley face with X's for eyes. That's what I picture. I believe it's yellow.
There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Okay, let's get to the
This
padlock.
cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Let's try to get it.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker in your ledger after the last entry. Put it on the cover. Yes, put it in the ledger.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Okay, let's open it.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city.
All right. Oh. Fascinating. I was gonna pull out the flashlight, but I don't think we need it. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. This grotesque wooden figure looks half-finished. This figure was added later. It's not part of the original church. Okay. I like this music. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long-forgotten style. A prayer book has been left open. Excerpts from the Paracarnasian Litany of Love.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I hear something. I also see like these wires and what look like plates of some kind.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
I guess we have to yell.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
It's fascinating.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing's beginning to worry me. Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this. Can't hear shit.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing, on its premises.
Maybe they wanted to discourage singing and dancing.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Try to see beyond the shadows. Oh. We should have made that.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
Try to make out something, anything.
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Officer, what are you looking at?
He follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you're seeing. What's the darkness like?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork, the sense of a great height.
Link? Oh.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
A bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it.
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently.
Creepy.
The crab man.
Hey, who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol.
Right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem and it's been getting out of hand lately, but I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use. Oh, hell no. No.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Okay, fine, I'm struggling. You don't know me. Being very comfortable. I'm doing just fine, thanks.
I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Wonder what changed your mind, Kim.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
For some reason, I feel like you have a point there. Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy under the roof? You know, alcohol, essentially. Like that. I know it's all well and good, but we need to talk about the unlicensed occupation of ecclesiastic property. You have a point there?
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege, save him perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
You must be the crab man. Some neighbors want to turn this place to nightclub. Do you know where the other spooker is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa.
The old lady.
Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
More like saying little old lady. Wait, so there is another person living in the church and it's a viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes.
Or she wears
She's
old
actually
clothes?
quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
I guess. And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
Search through her radio computer.
You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
To be fair, it's more like a spider. If you're not a crab, then what are you? Sorry, you just weren't moving like a human. Hey, it's your neighbors who came with this name, not me. Probably a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Wait, did you also carve all those statues? Sculptures, excuse me?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
I see what you've done there. It's as if these figures are trying to come on with the church, or perhaps with the mother herself. You got some nice curves going there. These are a pad derivative. You're promoting the objectification of women with your reactionary depiction of female bodies. Honestly, I don't get it. All these figures look half finished. Let's play along.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
What were you before you became a crab man and a wood carver?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
So you used to be in a gang, but you don't really remember it. Sounds convenient.
Convenience has got nothing to do with what goes on up there.
He gazes up at the ceiling.
There's a profound longing in that gaze, like he wants to be one with whatever is up there, shrouded in darkness.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Who's this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Essay. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, at one with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Faith is a kind of drug.
I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
Let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the
I know it will
church.
take time. Don't sweat it.
Oh, weird.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the Mother's glory.
Doesn't really make sense for you to sing if she's the mother of silence.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
How did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
All right.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Wait, do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
So what do you think about the nightclub, that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
All right. So, I think this is a perfect place to stop. There's a lot more to explore in the church, but we can save that for the next episode. So thank you so much for being here with me. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Remember to save your progress, and I will see you in the next video.